you ever looked at a student athlete and thought, they have it all, without recognizing how much they're holding together when nobody's paying attention? You see, people notice the confidence. People notice the performance. People notice a version of you that looks steady, even when the world is pulling you into opposite directions. What people don't always notice is the pressure behind that steadiness, the choices behind the confidence. And tonight, I want to talk about what it really feels to grow up as a student athlete, what it means to develop while you're still young, what it means to carry responsibility at an age meant for growth, what it means to learn who you are while still being asked to be your best. And honestly, being here today, this talk didn't come easy. With school, practice, midterms, finals, projects, deadlines, finding the time and the energy to sit down and reflect on what I wanted to say here today took me longer than anyone could imagine. And just 3 days before one of the most important days of my teenage years, I was injured. Instead of rehearsing, instead of refining, I was at the hospital. Instead of practicing what I wanted to say, I was sitting there, processing the injury, adjusting to the reality of being on a cast. Not because I didn't care, not because I was reckless, but because being a student athlete often means you're always moving, always catching up, always carrying something, even when no one notices it. And finally, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Malak Alassiri, and I am 13 years old. And at 13, you're not just a student athlete, you're still developing, still finding who you are, still building confidence, discipline, and identity at the same exact time. Youth development isn't about rushing kids to be great. It's about giving them the space and the time to grow without breaking them first. And you might be thinking, what kind of pressure could a 13-year-old really understand? But sometimes, life asks you to carry responsibility long before people expect you to. You see, balancing school and sports teaches you something very, very quickly. Both worlds expect the best from you at the same exact time. No time to rest. School wants your focus. Sports wants your energy. And you're supposed to walk into both looking ready, even when you're not. There was a time where everything hit at once. Finals were coming up, training wasn't slowing down, project deadlines, and I was still expected to stay calm. Teachers still expected perfection, coaches did too. And I felt like I was being stretched into every single direction. And that's when I faced one of the hardest decisions of my whole basketball career. A decision that tested me more than any league, competition, practice, or game ever could. A moment in my career that tested me more than anything had. You see, I had been playing with my team for a very long time. I improved. I worked hard. But I still felt unseen. And when you're young and hungry, that feeling can really get into your head. When a popular team showed interest, I thought this was my moment. This was my time to shine. But reality then hit me fast. On this new team, I wasn't going to shine. I was going to sit, benched, waiting, hoping for a moment that might not even come for years. Then came a quiet conversation, an honest one, not dramatic and not loud. My coach, someone who has seen me progress constantly and quietly, sat me down and spoke to me, not about my moment, but about my future. She reminded me that growth comes before recognition, that development isn't instant. She reminded me that growth doesn't look impressive right away. She said something that really stayed with me. She didn't just want me there. She didn't just believe in my ability. She didn't just believe in my ability. She believed I wasn't just a young athlete, because being a young athlete growing in this country means something. Not because of the label and not because of the title, but because of the potential and the responsibility that comes with it. And within that line, you're going to realize something. Within my journey, your journey isn't shaped alone at all. Parents, when love, can even add pressure without realizing it. Friends want your time, but don't always understand what your schedule demands. Your community celebrates your wins, but rarely understand the weight behind them. And sometimes, pressure doesn't come from people who understand. Pressure comes from people who don't understand at all. The comments, the jokes, the whispers. Not loud, not obvious, but constant enough to make me question myself. Why do I take this so seriously? It's never that deep. I think I'm better than everyone else. Bullying doesn't just, or sports communities don't just affect your feelings. They build the type of athlete you become. And at some point, you're forced to choose. Do you want to be the athlete who folds under people's opinions? Or do you want to be the athlete who rises above them? I chose to rise, because here's what I realized. The people who mock effort are the ones scared to give any. And when you slowly start realizing that, you stop apologizing for wanting more. You stop dimming yourself to match people who never tried. And if I want you guys to leave my TED Talk with one thing, I want it to be, pressure isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. It means that you're trusted with more than one thing at once. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.